Hey all, it's me, Laura B, with Craft and See with Laura B. Okay, how are you guys doing? I sure hope you're doing better than I am. I am having just one frustrating morning, just really frustrated. Well, one thing is I have this PDF from JaneyB. It's called Bees, and I want to print out these, and this is the only size that will do it. It is in PDF format, and no matter how many times I put it on landscape, it's at 100%. This is not 100%. How can you make a junk journal out of this? Make sure I'm not all up in here. Anyway, this is like print number 5, and I just can't waste my ink anymore. And by the way, those smart tanks, I'm having, they do hold more ink, I will say that, but when they said it came with a year's worth of free ink, I'm like, yeah, right. I knew it was too good to be true. And it is. They mean if you print maybe 10 pages a month, black and white, with a little bit of color, it'll work. Anyway, so my first frustration this morning was I came on here, I made this process video for something, for this, and I accidentally deleted the whole stinking thing. Yes, ma'am, I sure did. Yes, ma'ams, and yes, sirs, I sure did. Very, very upset. Plus, I'd done them a few more pockets. So, what I'm going to do is I decided to make more, one for each signature. And I shrunk these because they're not PDFs, they're JPEGs. And so I want to make this, the same thing, and it'll go on a page in here, one of the pages. So this is what we're going to do. And if we have time, or if we had time, I was going to do this one too, but it's really vexing me, and I might still go ahead and do it. It's a little bit smaller. I don't know. That is really upsetting me because I printed that out before and had no issues. Can't remember if I used my new printer or not. Anyway, here we go. I have, did I ask y'all how y'all are doing? How are y'all doing? I'm doing well. I did remember asking that. What I'm going to do is one by one in here because I'm sick and tired of getting this super fine, clear gloss, super fine powder everywhere. It's like cinnamon. And I have these 2 pens. This is the brush, and then the bullet pen is somewhere around in here, over here. Oops. And I like this much better than the, what am I trying to say? Than the pad for stuff like this. I tend to use these, obviously, a lot. And just, it does not what to do. Anyway, what are y'all up to? I know everybody else seems to be, oh, for God's sake, come on. Just work with me today. My first video went along swimmingly, y'all. It went so well. And then, of course, I deleted it. And this is what I do. I know that some people are like screaming, don't do that. Oh, crud. Did you see that? But I try to... And this also helps keep things from flying all over the desk. I hope. But it's the first time I used it. I just made it real quick. The burst knot. And I learned from someone, I cannot remember who, I will find out, I think it is Carol Laws. If you dip it right back in when it's hot, Come on. I can't get my hands to work the way I want them to. There's just a little bit missing there, but I need to stop being persnickety about it. And on to the next one. On to the next one. I left something upstairs I'm looking for. I'm not left-handed, so trying to pick this up left-handed and it's just not working. What are y'all working on? I got a lovely email from Ellen that I was reading just before I did this. She was telling me her process of how she did like the guest ticket. You're so close, you're so close. Oh, for goodness sake, come on, yeah. Bad word. Thing. You bad word thing. Not straightening up and flying right for me when I'm on camera. Now, come on. Like a child, always acting up the wrong moment. I am so uncoordinated. It's very hard for me to do this and turn this on and off at the same time. I will try to remember who I watched do this trick with the letting it cool a little bit, where it's hot, you dip it right back into it and do it again. I'll try to remember who I learned that from. And then link it down below. And there are days where I try to remember, why did you think these reverse tweezers were a good idea? Mainly it's so when I'm holding it, I don't have to keep it squeezed, but obviously it comes with its own set of issues. Or it's just operator error, which is probably the case. I hope I'm in frame and I'm still recording. I have you up a lot higher, so I make stop folding on me, please. So I make sure I'm in frame. Oh, please just stop. And I'm not hangry because I ate. I follow like a ketovore diet, and I have an intermittent fasting. And I have a very narrow eating window. And then once that window is up, that's it. Until the window opens again. Works a little bit. Mainly the reason I'm doing this, now I saw somebody once press these into their embossing pad. I have been trying that. It is not working, so I don't know my embossing pad may be dry. I am getting, you know, whatever they call the re-inkers. But it's not immediate. I really, really, really want to get the big flakes of this, because this stuff, oh my gosh, it goes everywhere. And these are bending a lot because I'm just using 28-pound paper. I decided to back it when I'm done to alleviate some of this. I'm just dipping it in here. I know some of you might not appreciate this process, but for little things like this, it is a sight easier. There. Anyway, back this at the end so I can cover up that look. And you have all this that you have in there, and it's just I just prefer to dip if I can. Good enough. I am hoping this time that once I put the lid on, once I glue them onto something sturdier, that they will flatten out a little bit. But we'll see. Be right. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to be cutting a lot of that. It was bad. It was bad. Low battery alert. Couldn't get it stopped. Couldn't get it stopped. Like, stop the video until I was able to clear the low battery close. Low battery mode, or whatever it says. It's just been a day, I tell you, a day. But such is life. That is life, having days. It's like that old joke. Some people have one of those days. I have one of those lives, which is not true. I actually have a very good life. You know, it's not without its trials, but what is? I'm looking for the other one. I'm looking for the other one. Because of course it flew off and went somewhere I didn't want it to, or I'm just not seeing it. It should be right here. There it is. It's a little dinky. It's a little dinky thing. And what I'm going to do now is to back it on to some card. Might as well use these papers that weren't doing anything. This just is vexing me, y'all. I do not know why. I closed out the program thinking, oh, you know, sometimes it needs to start over. Nope, that didn't work. And I am going to really try to glue these puppies on there. Anyway, as I said I think there's a video that's going up tomorrow, or aka Wednesday, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much. I don't know how many of y'all are on any kind of social media. Oh, for goodness sake. But there is a meme of this little girl, and she, can you believe that? I'm gonna cry. I just want to cry now. Cry out of vexation and frustration. Anyway, she's standing in there in her bedroom, which I assume is her bedroom doorway. I don't know, wasn't there, didn't film it, don't know. And she's got a hairbrush, and she's just mean mugging. She's like this with the hairbrush at whoever she's mad at. And I'm like, I identify with that so much. So much. I really, 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 really do. And since this is sealed, there. The first one, that's what irritates me, the first one went off without a hitch. Yes, Isabeau, I see you, but no, you're not going to get attention. Other than that, you're fine. Lay down, go night-night. You lay down and go night-night. And then, you know, all the subsequent ones want to just be pains in the you-know-whats. And this will be my lesson to not do it this way again. Because it's so thin paper, it just doesn't want to stay uncurled and therefore stuck it down. But that's a problem that I have with the heat embossing anyway. Even if you glue it onto something, it's not going to, when you heat emboss, obviously it's gonna separate the glue and the paper. I need these little tiny pennant points. Little petite pennant points. Say that. I'm trying to say it and I can't say it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this under a book. And we're going to move on to something else. Let my frustration level return to its normal, which is not saying much. I'm working on it. Because I am a work in progress. Alright, I have this big heavy book right here. What's underneath the papers. There. Y'all are going to sit there and have timeout. They're going to have a timeout. And compose themselves. And what do you do when your timeout from the world is crafting and it's frustrating you? Now, where do you go from there? I do not know. I finally got my mat to stop, as it like probably flew in your face, apologize, to stop moving around so much. And it was an inadvertent fix. You know, y'all know how my table is crooked. It slants down. And so I put, and a little feet thing came off. So I built up hot glue on this upper corner and the bottom one. So it met, and then hot glue over here on the other side. And so it met there. And it turned out, not only did it stop it from, you know, going, it keeps it from moving as much. And see, I wiped that off. You've seen how I've wiped that off, and I can still feel that fine, fine, fine powder. I really should not spend $16 on that. I've got other things I need to pay off and get that are just because I don't like, you know, the inconvenience of one. I mean, it works, it does well. When I don't have operator error, All right, enough of that. The other thing, let me flip through and show you what I have done so far. And there's more that, oh, see, this is why all that powder. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna have a slurp of coffee. So I haven't done a whole lot. I did these last night. I printed it first onto tracing paper, cut out what I liked, made the pocket, and then printed it on 28-pound paper. Tried to match as close to exact as I could, width-wise and everything. And backed it in some of my bubble papers that I made, choosing one that I thought would go. That's how that one came about. This you didn't get to see in the video that I already deleted, where I had these. Did it work? Yes, it did. Cheap Dollar Tree napkins that I use a cereal bag sealing thing from Natasha at Treasure Books. And because I couldn't make him do anything where he wasn't flying unnaturally, I went ahead and made him a belly band. Not a whole lot more I have done. Huh. There be that. The centerfold. Now it's funny because I did get a Jane Austen kit through JaneyB journals. So there is Jane Austen in here, but it's not part of my Pride and Prejudice. There you go. This pocket is from her London town, and it's postcard. I just made it into a pocket. I'm trying very hard, and there's the belly band with the little interactive. And this is why I want to wait to back the papers, because it looks ugly. Still super fine powder everywhere. Tell you, it's like cinnamon, but it doesn't like to clean up as well. By the way, don't ever, 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 ever try to vacuum up baking cocoa. Powdered baking cocoa. Just don't do it. You will be sorry. I'd clean out the vacuum cleaner. No, it was a dismal failure. Of course, you know, what happened if I had dropped it? Here's another one of those London town pockets. I'm trying very hard. Whatever I do on one, I automatically do it to the other kind of assembly line, so I don't overload one signature with all these fun things and then not have them for another signature, because, well, you know. That center, I just thought it was very pretty. This is her Summer Flowers kit. I know that one off the top of my head. Here's this art history book that I have. Another tracing paper and card. Oh, the air conditioning out there is humming along quite nicely. It's a little bit chilly. Took another one of these. It would have, no matter how I would have sliced it, this little butterfly would have been flying, dive bombing, or shooting for the stratosphere. And the last signature, same thing. I really like this. This is from her My Story kit. And it's just so pretty. And Mitzi had mentioned in one of my other videos how nice the colors were, and mentioned the new printer. This is on draft. This is draft, y'all. Draft. Because I'm like, I'm going through a lot more ink than I would have thought I would have. And boy, they're highly saturated. So I thought I'd take it down to draft, thinking erroneously that it would have decreased that, or it wouldn't, but no, it still, her final the final one with the London town. Nose is running. And I believe that is as far as I have gotten with this one. And while we are waiting on those little pesky things to do what they're supposed to do, we are going to pick some more pockets, because this is kind of what I'm about right now, is simply putting pockets in and waiting for the cards and everything to come later. What did I do on these? Nope. I was thinking of making that a foldable writing spot, but it wasn't going to work out the way I wanted it to immediately. And it's all about instant gratification. And this lady is just a little too long. And it would look really funny if I tried to fix it. This one is an actual pocket. I made that. I'm just trying to figure out where I was and what I was doing. And just pick one. Pick one. Pick one out of your basket of goodies. There we go. So I spent some time outside a while ago trying to do my best to OD on vitamin D, which I can't handle much, but still. And when I say do one on this, you know, do the same, it does not mean they all have to be the same pocket. Although I've kind of have stuck to a little bit of that. I get this tune in my head, and it's not anything I can think that I have heard. It's just a bunch of notes strung together, and whenever I try to hum it, I can't call it forth, but I'll catch myself humming this weird tune. Oh, that's Mitzi's ringtone. That's what that is. So that's not what it was. Trust me. I mean, I do get that one stuck in my head. That is not the tune I'm humming. Humming. I know, I'm being silly. I'm just being silly. Silly Willy. Nope. There we go. And let us ink this one. If I can find my inker that I was using for this. Because, oh my gosh, if I pick the wrong one, the whole thing would just come crashing down all over me, right? And this has the gusseted sides, but not the gusseted bottom, which is fine. It actually works out just fine. Why don't we go over here and do this way? Doesn't matter. No, this looks better to me. That looks better. And it could be a belly band if I wanted it to be. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that and be different from what I've used them before? So outside, soaking up some rays, got a little too warm. It happens. It happens a lot. And then I will decorate that. I don't plan on doing much, if any, sewing to anything. so that way I can, oh, there it is, get done faster. Looking for the basket. And here's, this is the tag that I just need to fold together, and I have not done it. I've not done it. Okay. So now this one be done. Okay, one more, and then we'll see where we're at on the, let's see if I did it. It's just so pretty. I don't want to do yellow on yellow because that's just too much. Well, yellow. That might actually work. So what we are going to do on this one, and yes, I could fold it myself, but I tend to like to use a scoreboard because, well, it's hard for me to fold on a dotted line. I have a hard time folding and cutting straight. It's like I'm permanently wonky. Like I'm permanently cockeyed. I find myself with little to say because I said it all in the last videos. You know? Here we go. And let us, what else do we want to do to it to make it a little prettier? We can pull out some quick stamps. Quick, quick, quick. Only because, well, A, I didn't really pay attention to when I started filming, and I never, ever, 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 ever set a timer. And probably because I'm hyper about time. So I'm always keeping one eye on the clock. I've had this time issue forever in a day. Look at that big bee, Mitzi. And I'm going to do them all at once. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because it's just providing background. Go that way. That way. Obviously, that's a really big bee. Not to scale. Trying not to bump y'all. Sorry if I did. Too late to look away. My apologies. What color shall I use? What color shall I use? I'm going to try this sunflower. Because A is B. And I think these are daisies, not sunflowers. But in my world, it's whatever I say it is. And you're gonna like it. All right. And this is where I put the smack down on it. There we go. There we go. That's what happens when you put the smack down on it. I know, Candace, you're rolling in your grave over there. Okay, you're not in the grave, but you know, poor choice of words, but you know what I'm trying to say. You're rolling your eyes over there. Can you believe that's how she stamps? Why, yes. Yes, that's how I stamp. Want to make something of it? Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I guess I don't want to put that there because it's right next to its... Nope. Which I have been informed is peonies. Two-tone. Don't want it in the center. Don't like it there. Don't like it there. and deal with it there. I like it better there. Actually, I'm going to put it here because I like that with that. And we'll make it another tuck spot. Still that powder. Still that powder. The one I did not print out is her rose gold kit. Well, there's several I didn't do anything with. I mean, there's a masculine ads, I believe, are hers. You know, you get these visuals, you think you're saving them where you want them to go, and it turns out you are not. There's something under there. Oh, it's that. Oh, how funny. What is under there? I'm pressing this down on something on the table. No, you're not. It will take a small, no, doesn't have to be that small. There we go. So there is a, and it will lay down after a while. And you probably, with some finagling, can kind of sort of, nope. If I hadn't glued down the sides, you could tuck it under itself, but then it wouldn't be able to stick. So that wasn't a very well thought out statement. There we go. You can close and go night for a while. Like, there we go. So there's the front one. I just really lose my stuff. I'm trying to be so organized too. So let's see where we are at with these guys. There we go. It's be under here. Are you kidding me? I just put my signatures. The other two signatures have just suddenly grown legs and they're right there. I tell you, I have not been drinking. I've not been doing anything I'm not supposed to, but things just disappear on me. Where I have them, and then suddenly they're gone, and I don't know where they went. I don't know where they went. These scissors, new, they don't open all the way. I've just not had a lot of luck with these. So I have to, depending on what I'm doing, I have to kind of keep flipping it up. I'm just on the hunt for a good pair of scissors. I mean, these are almost too big for my hands anyway. Can't talk, concentrating. Wink, wink. Not really. Serious. Not serious, but really am serious. Go around these. Maybe I'll do it this way. Don't want to get too... You know, I have a smaller pair of these. I can always use those. I just forget about them. I tend to well, I forget about them. Because, well, they're little and they don't. They're over here. And they don't snap open, or, and I don't have to open them myself. I can see where there's that bit out of it and it's bothering me. On the clock, on the clock. There. And I probably will fast forward through some of this so I can come in under an hour. Because you know how time flies when you're having fun. Or being frustrated. Because nothing wants to work right. Joe's caregiver's here today for 4 hours and I don't hear him yet. There he is. Now I do. No, I do. I feel like I'm cutting that off. Oops. And I did, just a little bit. Come on, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the centerpiece. That's just not how I want it to look, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get whatever, all that glue off of there from when it just didn't want to stay on. Now, it's good enough for government work. What I'm going to do now is line up, try this. Put it back in there. I did put it back in there. Ouch. Poke myself, why don't I? Alright. Let me pick a thread, which I could have done already, but forgot. So I'm underneath, trying not to move the camera any. Trying to find some crochet thread and not knock over my laptop, which I did. There we go. I'm gonna use that, whether it looks good or not, it's gonna look good. Okay. Where am I? What am I doing? Where am I? All right. So what we are going to do here is string this, and I have about 4.5 inches where I want it to hang. And I have more than that, but that is about it right there. And we're gonna just do my best to centralize, aka center. Keep them all lined up as best I can. Actually, we're gonna come down here. Now there may be, oopsie, we're not quite center, but that's okay. I'm gonna make sure that I tell myself it's okay. It's okay. Oops. Am I still recording? Yep, I'm still here. I tell you, after the day I've had, no telling. It's 2 o'clock. I'm being reminded to take my meds. Fred Foreman's favorite slur. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna put any beads or anything on this one. Because, well, I don't need to be that quite that matchy-matchy, right? I know, I hear myself. So we go in from the top because we want it to go behind. In from the top. And then you come back out. And this will ensure you stay behind. If you wanted to, you could put the string in front. I just choose not to. And obviously you don't want your holes too close to the edges. Not that it should have much problem tearing because of the heat embossing, but not that it's paper, it could happen. There's black thread on there that I did not want. Get away, get away, get away. Up through. If this Google Photos doesn't upload this, well, it should, because I had to stop it and start all over again. Not start all over again, but hopefully you know what I'm trying to say, because the words are just failing me. The ability to express myself in a clear, cogent, and concise manner are eluding me. Alrighty, now put that tool back over there, put that filler away, these away, right there so I don't lose them. Now I just have to decide where I wanted to put this. I kind of like it there, and that's where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna live. And as this is how I tie it off. There may be a better way. just did not do that correctly. So, well, luckily, I can go back in. What I wanted to do is come back in the back way again. I know that's some kind of song. I know I just didn't make it up off the top of my head. Alright. Give myself some slack. I have to bring it down, sorry. I gotta be able to see what I'm trying to do. Go from there, thread it back onto this needle. I suppose I could have done this way at the very beginning, but I didn't think of it. Come on now. Izzy Bo's dreaming again, I think. There we go. I often wonder about Joe and his caregiver, because all Joe ever does is, all they ever do is he takes them to Walmart, and then they come back and they sit on the couch while Joe shows him a bunch of stuff on, either shows him a bunch of stuff that he wants him to see, you know, aka any kind of sporting event, and then they just sit on the couch. And what I'm going to do with this, there we go. All I'm going to do is glue the tops of it, the tops of these. And then I will take that off of there. You know, glue your pages. I'm concentrating. All right, come back here. Is this what I wanted to do? Yes, I guess. Okay. Lay them down, kind of like this. Now, while this is not going to be a belly band, it's just going to be, I don't want it to get too close to where it can't close. There we go. I want it to be able to close. Come on. A little bit turned. It does not matter. I'm being precious about it. I did not test this part out. I think, though, we shall be good. And cut this off. Oops, and this one right there. All right. Back to it. So it's, like I said, it's not really gonna hold anything as an up tuck, if you can even get anything in there. Not really. Maybe so. Anyway, there we have it. I'm going to rush the end because I've been an hour at least. If you like what you have seen, please give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comment box. Subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends. And on that note, I bid you adieu until next time. Peace out, guys. Bye.